Hey there, flock stars. Let's talk about bookings. All right, well, goodness, there's already calamity in my house. If you just heard that big boom, that was balloon popping. Because it's kind of applicable, right? Bookings lead to parties. Balloons are a part of a party. Maybe. Can we make that connection? I don't know. Well, when you pop on, let me know where you're watching from. Say hello so that I know that you're here. And I'm just going to make sure that I am in the right place. And it looks like I am. Yay! Super excited to talk to you guys tonight about the lifeblood of our business, bookings, and in particular, how to get bookings, because isn't that the most important thing, right? If our calendar is empty, or if maybe it's not empty, but we could hold more, right? Oh, yay, Boston, Houston, Alaska, Arizona, New Jersey. Yay, I'm so glad to see so many of you popping on tonight. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Why don't you tell everybody what you did on Sunday to fill your cup? I hope you did something with your family, or in some way did something that just helps you feel awesome and recharged for this week. So what I did this weekend was I spent some time outside with my family. I don't know what it's like where you are. I know South Dakota I saw was getting some snow. What's it like, Tracy, in Alaska? Are you getting snow there too? Here it did get really cold. So we started out Friday evening in Austin, and Friday it was actually really warm and beautiful. It was like 90 degrees. I was actually sweating. It had rained and my hair was a big frizz ball and all that stuff. And then by evening, it was so cold outside for a patio dinner that I couldn't even eat. It was just that cold. So, but lots of time with family this weekend. And of course, that's what helps to fill my cup. So snow melted today, but it's going to be back. Oh, nice to have your granddaughters this weekend. I love it. 10 degrees in snow. No, thank you. All right. Raining in Alaska right now. Okay. Nice. Well, so glad you guys are joining me. And I'm just really excited to talk to you about bookings tonight. So let's get started. First of all, I just want to say that if you desire change, you have to initiate it. And this is step one because you're sitting here watching tonight. So let's talk about bookings and how to get them. I have decided to take some notes for tonight so that I can stay on track and not forget any of the great ways of finding bookings, because you know how I'll get off on those tangents and we'll just chase after something for a really long time and never bring it back home. Well, that's not what I'm going to do right now. This evening, I'm actually going to talk to you about 25 ways to book parties. Actually, there might even be a few more tucked away in there. And what I want you to do right now is to not get overwhelmed, okay? And the other thing I want you to do right now is to tag a friend, invite a friend to this live who should be watching, whether you know they want more bookings, could use more bookings, or just want to become an expert at booking parties. Maybe it's somebody who doesn't even party. So let's talk about why parties, first of all, because parties are the lifeblood of our business. And if we don't know why to have them, we have no reason to book them, right? Okay. So bookings are the lifeblood of your business. It's what's going to give you that captive audience, people who are ready to listen to you, to see your product, to try your product. It's where you find your future stylists. It's where you find growth. I'm trying to keep my computer screen open and keep my phone open so that I can see your comments. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. So I'll just be delayed on the comments like usual, guys. That's fine. Okay. So it's where you're going to find all of your future business, your stylists, your the prospects who are going to be stylists. It's where you find your future hostesses. It's where you find everything. And so if you're not partying, I first want to encourage you to party. And the plan that we like to follow, we call 10-8-2. That's put together by Sherry McAllister. That's booking 10 parties a month to hold 8 parties a month. And when you do that, you're going to have 2 new team members every single month. So it's just a really great plan to follow, and I'm going to help make sure that you have your 10 parties booked every month. So what's step one? When you are looking to get started, you first have to know that with all of these ways I'm going to share with you to book parties, don't feel like you need to be the expert at all of them, okay? Just choose one that excites you for tonight and run with that one way. And then save this video so it's something that you can come back to later and maybe, try something new, try something that you haven't tried before. But really in our business, here's the great thing. You only have to become really, really good at one way. That's it. Really, really good at one thing. And when you become really good at that, that's enough to carry your business forward. So that's step number 1. Don't get overwhelmed. Step number 2 is don't be attached to no. No is not personal. Try to look at no as next opportunity, okay? N-O, next opportunity, or needs more information. I know that isn't an acronym for no, but that's really what that means. And also remember, you have to ask. So let's talk about the reasons why somebody books a party, okay? Number 1, the number 1 reason somebody will book a party is because it's fun, fast, and easy. Number 2, for social time and a reason to get together. Number 3, because they like the consultant. Number 4, to help the hostess. Number 5, because they want to share the product or the solution that the product brings with their friends. And number 6, the last reason is for free product. So I want you to keep these things in mind as we move forward through this conversation, because so many times it's easy to lead with the free product because the product is something that's really exciting to us. But if that's not the number 1 reason that people are booking, then it's certainly not the number 1 thing we should be leading with. All right. So the other thing to know, with those 6 things, let's do a little bit of self-reflection. You want to make sure that your party is fun, fast, and that your party is easy. Are you fun? Remember, they like the consultant, the stylist. That's why they book parties. So look in the mirror. Are you fun? I know I've told you guys that story before where, I had an enroller in my business who, when I called her and I told her I wasn't getting any bookings, but this party was so great and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, nobody wants to book a party. Okay. If you're telling yourself right now, first of all, let me tell you, you're lying to yourself. And stop it. Everybody everywhere in every demographic and every zip code, people are booking parties. It's a thing to do. So if you're not getting results, it's time to look internally. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So what my enroller said to me was, she basically had me go look in the mirror. And when I went and looked in the mirror, she said, "There's your problem." And like, oh gosh, that's such a really hard thing to hear. But I tell this story over and over because it really was a turning point for me in business. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn that audio off there. Let me hit these volumes real quick. That really was a turning point for me in business when she said, there's your problem. What she really meant was, there's your solution. And Hanna, it's time to look inside, because if people everybody everywhere is booking parties and having successful parties, then the problem isn't the parties, the lack of parties, or the lack of desire, or the lack of people. The problem is me. Everything else was a common denominator, and I'm the only variable. So I want you to keep a really open mind while you're doing this self-reflection. Is your party fun, fast, and easy? Are you fun? Are you solution focused? Because you know that if one of the reasons they're booking, one of the top reasons is to share the solution with their friends, then that's another great thing. Christina cannot hear me. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? And then also, think about what you're advertising when it comes to the bookings. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Christina, I'm just going to keep talking just in case others can hear me. And if I hear somebody say, you can hear me. Okay. Okay. So Christina, maybe refresh your screen, check on your device. I'm not really sure there. But think about how you're advertising your booking. What are you leading with? Are you leading with the free product? Just think about what it is that you're leading with, and try to lead with fun, fast, and easy. Women are really busy every day. And what we have to do when we're switching the focus to what's in it for them is we're really shifting that focus to, making sure that we're using the words that's going to take something off of their plate, because they're not going to book if it's seeming like they're adding something else to the plate. Does that make sense? Okay, so the other thing you have to know is it's all right here. The only thing keeping you from having an entirely full calendar, a calendar full of bookings, is what's going on right here. It has to be your desire to take action. It has to be followed with the action, but a lot of it is also your mindset. And all of those things take place right here. So you have to know what you have to offer. You have to know that what you're offering is a gift. We're offering a way for women to get together. We're offering a way to have fun. We're offering a solution that so many women are looking for that they don't even know exists. We're offering friendship. We're offering opportunity. And this is our time to share it. This is our platform to share it. Nobody is doing you a favor. You are doing them a favor. And it's really important that you get that right, right here before you even get started making these reach outs with this party. Okay? All right. Did everybody get a chance to tag a friend to invite them? Because we're about to get into the how-to. All right. The other thing for mindset is just, making sure that you're prepared. So, this is less mindset and more an organizational skill. I don't know, but grab your calendar and mark the days in green that you're willing to party. Because here's the thing, it's the law of diminishing intent. The way that works is the more you put something off that you intend to do, the less likely you are to do it. So if you're someone in this group who works a full-time job and you keep thinking to yourself, I'm going to do that after work. I'm going to do that after work. What happens is you're less and less likely to ever get that done because it wasn't made a priority. And it's just what happens. It's not a fault that you have. It is just the law of diminishing intent. So what we want to do is we want to reverse that. By, first of all, if you are a working stylist, try to create a little bit of time in the morning where maybe you're getting up 15 minutes earlier and putting that focus to your business in the morning. But then also that's applicable for the entire month and the entire year. Get out your calendar right now and mark all the way through December the days that you're willing to work. Mark those in green because green means money and parties are an income producing activity. And once you have those dates laid out, you know exactly what dates you're ready and willing to fill. Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit into the how-to. And I first want to say that if you are a brand new stylist, you can pretty much say whatever you want to anybody. Because that's just the way that it works. New stylists, you have a little bit of grace here. You can pop in and say, I'm new, I need practice. I know it's going to sound really weird, but people are looking to help you and they're also looking to see you fall on your face. And so they're like, hey, I'll book a party, because it's that uncomfortable feeling. It's the same reason that people click the button to watch a live versus clicking a button to watch a recording. They're more likely to watch the live. So I don't really have a better way of saying that. I probably should have thought that through a little bit, but my notes are really limited over here. Okay. So you can really even say, hey, will you book a party for me? If there is anybody else in this group, if you are not a new stylist, I want that to be the last verbiage to ever use coming out of your mouth, because it's really simple to say no. And that's not focused towards what's in it for them. That's making it seem like they're doing a favor for you. Okay, so that's a really big shift to make. Post in your VIP group, say that you can't wait to get started and let them know what dates you have available. If you're brand new, that's a great way to put it. And just be excited, because excitement sells, and ask your VIPs to claim that date. If you don't have a VIP group yet, then it's time to have a launch party, and that launch party will convert over into your VIP group. So those are just some quick basics, because I know we have stylists who are brand new watching right now. So I didn't want to exclude you all. Okay. All right. So the next thing that you can do as a brand new stylist is ask your friends and family. This is what we call our dirt list. These are the people who would support us even if we're selling dirt. And this list is really, really, really small. So these are the people that's really great to practice on. These are the people that it is okay to say, will you book a party for me? Because they are your dirt list. They're likely to say yes, but I just want to set the stage right now and tell you that pretty much nobody else is ever going to say yes to you leading that way. So that's a great time to get your dirt list out and just practice. Practice the verbiage that's going to feel good for you or fit right for you, and go from there. All right. So then you can also start with that dirt list. You can almost I don't really know the best way to put it, but you can almost demand that they have a party, right? I need you to do this for me. This is the date I've given you. And when you're brand new, again, that is something that works. If you're a more seasoned stylist, we'll work on assuming the close, which is much different than demanding that happen. And maybe demand is kind of a different word, but you can drop whatever word you've got to replace that for me. But it's more like, this is happening because you're my family, you're doing this. It's just like when you start anything else. If you opened a brick and mortar business, they would be there to support you on your grand opening. And that's kind of the same thing. So we just need to put that into perspective for those who are part of our dirt list and those who care for us. And if you are a seasoned stylist and you haven't hit up your dirt list, girl, what are you waiting for? It's time to do that. And definitely you can practice some of these other techniques on them, but don't hesitate to say, hey, I need you to do this. This is the prime season for us. This is such a big opportunity and I need you to do this. Okay. That's it. Yes. Insist. That's perfect. Thank you. Insist was a really great word. Yeah. So then now what we're going to do is move forward. We're no longer talking to the new stylist. This is more for the seasoned stylist who already has a party going on. So we're going to go through some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So first of all, you have to make your party fun because everybody remembers a fun party, no matter what type of party it is. You have to make it fun. Because fun is what you're going to remember. So I want you to think about this for just a minute, because there was a company who launched recently and I was invited to a whole bunch of parties for it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to buy here, whatever. And then they all just blended together. And I couldn't remember which stylist I booked from because all of the parties were the exact same. So fast forward a couple of weeks, this company had been around a little bit and I was able to choose a stylist. I want to tell you how I chose her because I think this is going to help you understand exactly what you should be doing with your own parties. Not only does this make this fun, but it also makes it relatable, and that's showing your face. The one stylist who I chose for this other company to work with and to give my business to and to join her VIP group was a stylist who showed her face. So I know it can be really nerve-wracking to hit that live button. And if you're scared to death to hit the live button, or maybe you never have time to hit the live button, go ahead and add your friendly face to every other post in your party, because when they see your face, when they see your children or your grandchildren or your pets or whatever it is, they're going to start to relate to you. And it's really important that you start showing up for them so that they can start building that relationship with you. That's that like, no trust factor. I'm going to take a break for just a second to say, guys, grab a drink and get comfortable because I'm only on number 1 of 25. So we might be talking about bookings for a hot minute. Okay. So grab a drink, get comfortable, make a quick potty break if you want to. If you're watching from your phone, take your phone with you because, that's a totally kosher thing to do. All right. So Terry, what do you do if you don't have a pretty face? You're so funny. And that is absolutely not the case. What happens is you show up as you. Whoever you are, you have to own you. You have to like yourself. And that's when other people are going to start liking you too. It doesn't matter what you look like. Shoot, the more real and relatable you are in parties, the more people are going to be connecting deeply to you and authentically to you. And they want to be a part of your life. Now, guys, I'm not saying to show up all haphazard, like, in your jammies and a total train wreck all the time, because this is a business and you're going to attract what you're putting out there. And so make sure that if you're wanting to attract some, professional women, that you show up as a professional sometimes too. Okay. So there is a little bit, of a caution there. Yes, we want them to see real life. We want them to connect with you. You can do a little bit more real life in your VIP space, but make sure if you're wanting to attract the professional that you're showing up as a professional too. Okay. Number 2. So number 1 was make sure that it's having fun and show up and show your face. Okay. Number 2, run a girls' night in. Do a girls' night in your party, in your existing party, offer tickets or points or whatever you want to do, and heavily weigh it on the booking post. This works every single time. There's a bazillion games you can play with Girls Night In for bookings. I know in the templates that we've sent out through Flockstars, you've seen many of those. And if you're not sure, if you're brand new and you're not sure what a Girls Night In is, go ahead and type Girls Night In the search bar of Flockstars, and you're going to see a training video pop up from Amanda Yoakum where she explains exactly what Girls Night In is. And when you're able to put some heavy weight on that booking post, it will make a difference. And it's also bringing the attention of all the party guests right to that post by working that algorithm with the Girls Night In formula. Okay, number 3. This is simple. Play a booking game. If you don't know what the booking games are, you can definitely find one of my favorites is the dice game by Amanda Todd. This is a virtual dice game. So much like Sherry McAllister's original in-home party dice game, which has always worked for the history of ever, it has always worked, right? Well, Amanda Todd at that.life.shop has created the dice game for the virtual world. And, it's really simple to create that dice game on your own, but the verbiage that Amanda uses that comes with that game is really, really super important to know and to use. It's pretty inexpensive. Find that over at that.life.shop. Or play any other booking game. I like playing the booking games that are like pick the number. If you don't want to, if you're not wanting to do the dice game or pick an envelope, pick a purse, whatever. It's all the same thing. Okay. Number 4. Are we on number 4 already? We are. Okay. We're moving a little faster. Okay, guys. This is really important. You have to show up in Messenger. We are in a digital world. So if you're not showing up in Messenger, you better be showing up on text Messenger. You better be dialing that phone because post and pray is never going to work for you. Okay, I need to retract the word never because it does work a little bit, but not for very long. It's not sustainable. It doesn't provide longevity. So if it worked for you in the beginning and now you're fooled because you're thinking, nobody wants to host a party. Listen, post and pray, it is expired. That doesn't work for very long. It only works for a short amount of time. Sometimes it will work in your parties, but no matter what you're doing, you have to show up in Messenger. The number one reason that people join this business and the number one reason that people will consider a party is because somebody asked them. Wouldn't you feel like a fool if all of a sudden these people who you met first are hosting parties and joining with somebody else just because those people took a moment to ask? Show up in Messenger. You have to make it personal. If you're just in your VIP group or in your party groups and you're like posting about it and you're waiting for somebody to reply, that's what we call post and pray, and it doesn't work. When I get to the end of this, I will share with you a little study by Nikki Rausch about the best ways for communicating for a party. How do you stay out of their spam folder? Sherry, that's a great question. One of those ways is to have them message you first. So there are lots of different techniques that you can use for that. So maybe you're doing party swag by offering twosies. In order for them to claim the party swag, have them message you first and then just make sure you're checking the spam. Also, it's great to have friends. You have to have friends. And I should go back to talking about that for just a minute because this is a social business. And you have to show up on social media. You have to have an open profile. You have to set that to public. Your posts have to be public. There are privacy settings and controls if you're working, a job where you need to have a little bit of privacy or you don't want your kids to show up on social media. That's okay. There are privacy controls to manage that, to make sure that that works out for you and that you're still completely protected. So that's a whole nother training. We can talk about that at another time, but it's really important. That little blurb. Okay. So where were we? We're on don't post and praise, number 4. Number 5, utilize a wish list. So if you're not using wish list, go to Flockstars, type wish list in the search bar because this wish list is one of the great ways to book a party. It's hard to know what people want if they are product driven. It's hard to create that value for them in the party if we don't know what they want. If all we're getting is their order form with 4 styles, we have no idea what else they want, especially with products out of stock online. It's so important to utilize the wish list. You can use that wish list to completely fill your calendar with follow-up, and we will go back and talk about follow-up here in just a minute. But that wish list is a great way to just know everything that your potential client, stylist, whatever wants. And the reason that the wish list is so great is they don't have to place an order to fill out the wish list. So I use Jot forms for that. You can use other free services that you could use would be Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. Both of those are opportunities to do a free way. Jotform is free for so many people who reply, but you can definitely check that out for yourself. I'm in love with Jotform. Other great things that it tells you is what time people are on. So if you are if you posted your wish list at 9 p.m. and you see that people are filling it out at like 12 a.m. or you see them filling it out at 9 a.m., the Jotform actually tells you all of that stuff and what device they used and things like that, so you can determine how you're going to show up for them in the future, which I also love because that's just part of posturing yourself to communicate with your clients, and that will help you to take that into your VIP group. But I don't want to overwhelm there, so we're going to move right along. The next thing is gift lists. Utilize the gift list. I'm obsessed with gift lists. Gift lists are great. That's almost a tongue twister. Gift lists. Try to say that 5 times fast. Okay. Gift lists are great. Excuse me. I'm going to choke myself up. They're great all times of the year, but especially now because you can really maximize how this is working, right? We've got the holidays right around the corner, and it's great to say, wishing you a holiday that's Manny and bright, or have yourself a Manny little Christmas for your mistletoes. Simple Manny Christmas. I mean, there's so many different things that you can say that's giving them the words to use with the nail polish. And how many people do you know that you have on your gift list that's like that $10 gift, right? It's like the teachers, the neighbors, delivery people, mail lady, the list could go on and on. Assistant at, I don't know, school, church, sports, coaches. I mean, drop them in there. Drop them in the comments. You all know exactly who I'm talking about. Bus driver. Might have said that one already. There's always going to be a huge list of people that you're looking for that under $10 gift for. And as a stylist, this is something that you really need to be talking about and really need to be building, because this is a great way to advertise your business to people who you've never met. Allow your customers to do that huge reach for you. And when you create a big gift list, how is this a booking? Because when people have 200 items on their gift list, of course, it's a no-brainer to have a party, right? Same with your hostess. When you're working a gift list with your hostess, she wants to get those additional bookings. If you're working in that wish list with the hostess, she wants to get those 3 additional bookings for her party to get an extra $75 in free product. And that's another one that's going to be coming up, is working the hostess program. Okay, so let's go back to gifts for just a minute. So all occasion gifts. When it comes to being a great fill in the blank, you really nailed it. So when it comes to being a great bridesmaid, you nailed it. When it comes to being a great neighbor, you nailed it. When it comes to being a great friend, you nailed it. It's just that inexpensive gift to have all the time. And thinking of that gift closet, how many times could you use a little something to say, Manny, thanks? Okay, guys, so I'm not going to keep going on this whole gift thing, but do you see how simple it is to sell the gift aspect of our product, which then leads you into those additional bookings? Again, why? Because the hostess is never going to miss her booking credit when she has a full gift list, and your customers are suddenly going to care about the free product when they have a wish list and a gift list that's $300 and $400. The other thing it does, it boosts your average sale per customer, which then inflates your Hostess Rewards. So when your stylist is sharing the Hostess Rewards that she got, that's yet another booking seed. See how this is all coming together? Okay, so that's just another way to get bookings. So number 7 is share the Host Rewards program. And allow your hostess to share it. Have her share this on social media. Share it in her party group. Share this in your VIP group. Share it everywhere. When your party guests are able to see your hostess and she's like kind of gloating over all this product that she received, they want to do the same thing too. And it's one of the greatest booking seeds that you can plant, because when people comment or when people like, guess what you're doing? Anybody want to guess? You show up in Messenger. So as soon as people like, comment, react in any way, shape, or form, you're going to show up in Messenger to them right away to be able to follow up and snag that booking. All right, number 8, offer a free set for securing the date before the party ends. We're all giving our hostess a free set of polish, because we want her to polish her nails and we want her to share it with a friend, whatever's left over. I always encourage my hostess to polish her nails with a friend because she's sharing what she's not using and she's showing it to somebody else all at the same time. It's even better when the hostess takes her full set to work, does her nails, and then goes around with those extra pieces and just polishes a finger or two for everybody in the office. It's bomb. It's the best, right? So how about just offering that right now in Messenger? Show up in Messenger and secure that date before the party closes. It's one more way to secure those bookings onto your calendar, because if you don't show up in Messenger and if you're not asking, you're selling her on the product, you're selling her on the party, you're doing all of those things, but she's going to book with that person who asks or that person who secures the date. So it's time to stay in the batter's box for another swing and show up there in Messenger. Okay, so number 9, follow up. Every time you get an order, you want to get into their inbox and remind them about your VIP group and say, oh, hey, by the way, I have an opening on blank and blank. Which date works better for you? I can't tell you how many bookings I get from that. And it's so incredibly simple. You're not asking for the booking. You're assuming the close and you're asking which date works better for them. It's pretty crazy. Guess what else? If you're using Jotform for that wish list, you can almost tell exactly which date is going to be working better for them because you can see when they had the time to engage with you. So if they had the time to engage with you, guess what? They have that time for a really fast, fun, fast, and easy party, right? So you can offer dates within those guidelines or use the context clues that you've picked up and offer those dates, assume the close. Which date works better for you, okay? I can't tell you how many bookings come from just showing up in Messenger with that simple question. Okay, number 10, for people who haven't ordered, guess what? Do the exact same thing. Show up in Messenger. If you've sent them a sample, they've messaged you to claim it, whatever the case might be, show up in Messenger and do the exact same thing. I've got this date and this date open. Which date works for you? They don't have to buy your product, purchase from you, or be your customer, whatever, to book a party. You just have to be brave enough to ask. Be brave enough to put that offer out there. Put yourself out there and always assume the close. Okay, number 11. Stylist exclusives. Share stylist exclusives wherever you can. And I know this is seeming, sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to share that because, the customer can't buy it. Well, if the customer is going to love it, share it. Okay. So if you get a stylist exclusive, it's this simple. Do a nail fee, snap a picture, and as you're posting in the party, share those selfies in there that have your nails included. Whatever you're doing, share those selfies in the party. 1, because your face is showing up, and 2, because they're going to love the product too. And you have the ability of saying that this is a stylist exclusive, and then you can offer that stylist exclusive for hosting a party. Every single stylist exclusive that ever goes out in the history of ever, I make sure that I'm going to earn that son of a gun. And the reason is it's the best booking tool in my toolbox, always. As soon as something is not available to the customer, it's when they always want it. And that's the greatest way to book that party is, you know what? This was a stylist exclusive, but I am going to set one aside for you. I have this date and this date open. Which date works better for you? Or you can say, I have it reserved for the best hostesses, and I can tell you're the light of this party. You're so much fun. So I can't wait to share a set with you. Which date works for you? This one or this one? It's really that simple. It's assuming the close and being brave enough to assume it. Know that it's not being pushy. I should have said this at the very beginning, that this is, you have to make in your mind that it's not being pushy, it's being professional. I just went to the dentist last week, and guess what? They didn't say, Hanna, would you like to come back? Because my answer was going to be no, right? But they said, hey, your next cleaning is 6 months out. I have this date and this date open. Which date works for you? You are doing the exact same thing. You're being professional and keeping that follow-up going for your business. Okay, I'm going to add an additional booking tip in here. So we're going to make this, number 12. Okay, so number 12, rebook your hostess. So this is a part of the close. It's just like when you are leaving the dentist and they're rescheduling your next booking, right? The next time that you're going to come in. So let's say you're closing a hostess tonight. Then you're going to say, okay, as you're closing her, you're on the phone with her or you're a messenger. Guys, I always prefer the phone. Find out when it's a good time to call your hostess because she's going to appreciate hearing your voice. She's going to want your opinion. She likes your validation, all of those fun things. And you have the opportunity to book that other party. You can do it in Messenger too. If you do, make sure you're using the voice clips, okay? Because that tone of voice is so key when you're assuming the close because it's not going to come through as something that could be perceived as being pushy, okay? So you're closing a party tonight and you're going to say, hey, Sandra, I'm going to go ahead and turn my calendar to the 15th of December. Is Thursday still a good day for you? Or is it safe to assume Thursday is still a good day for you? I just made up that date. I don't even know if the 15th is a Thursday. Okay. But what you're going to do is book the exact same date, like 6 weeks out. Okay. I don't even know if that's 6 weeks. I'm just guessing, but choose the same day about 6 weeks out. And she's going to say, sure. What is that date for? Oh, this is the time that all of your party guests are going to be ready for more Color Street. And we're going to surely have some new and fun releases by then. Is 6:30 still the best time? So you're assuming that close, you're assuming the time, you're assuming the date, and you're letting her know that this is what everybody does. This is the next step. Your hostesses have to be guided into that next step. So if she has not become a stylist, she needs to rebook her party because it's what we're going to do. She's going to have more and more people as she's wearing her polish asking her about Color Street. Of course, once her party happens, she's like, oh, why didn't I think of so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so? So her guest list is always growing. And it's just the thing to get in the habit of doing. Okay. Number 13, get your hostess booking for you. She has $75 party credit with the first 3 bookings that she gets. Check out our Hostess Rewards program because it's so super incredibly lucrative. You have to get her owning that. So that's part of working that wish list, and part of working that gift list is your hostess is booking these parties for you. That was easy. Where's my easy button? That's one of my favorite things about our Hostess Rewards program is that our hostesses have a great incentive to continue giving you future business. So when we're talking about why parties are so incredibly important, here's another reason, because it's setting up that future business for us. They're bringing on new VIPs. They're bringing on new party hostesses because we're working that Hostess Rewards program. It's super lucrative and amazing. Okay. So, number 14, at the end of your party, ask your hostess if she's willing to share with her friends the reward and tag you, and then also post it in your VIP group. Every time somebody likes, comments, reacts in any way, shape, or form, where do you show up, guys? You show up in Messenger, you show up in text message, wherever you're connected to those individuals, show up. It's okay to go right to that post and in the comments, Sherry, this is another way to stay out of their spam box, is just say, hey, Angela, I'm PMing you. Just little things like that. But it really makes a big difference because it's actually really simple. We just have to offer and assume the close. All right. Number 15, work your sample request form. Have some mandatory questions on there. One of those questions should be about bookings. And another one about maybe sharing their nail fee after they receive their sample. This, I can't tell you. I have this little question on my sample request form that asks about booking a party. And like 3 answers are yes, but they're all worded differently. And then one of them is, I'm not quite ready. So it's still not no, right? And I can't tell you how many people put yes. Again, there's the easy button. They just said yes, they want to book a party. And the wording, of course, is something that's going to make it fun, fast, and easy. It's going to make it seem like it's taking something off of their plate. It's going to make it be and share that it is something fun. Okay, but how simple is that? Just being aware and putting it on your sample request form. So whether you're using JotForm, Google Forms, or SurveyMonkey, again, those are all 3 services that you can use free to have that sample request form out there, but make sure you've got that question on there. It seems so silly and so obvious, but it's a great way to secure bookings. Also, in line with that, if you ever receive a lead from our website and you're wondering, oh gosh, how do I receive a lead? Be paid as team leader to senior director and you'll receive leads from our company. And follow up with those gals too, because almost every time that I'm able to offer the booking through a social media nail bar, they're anxious to do that. You know, they've heard about the product, they've been referred by some way, and they clearly didn't have a stylist, which is how they landed on your page to begin with. So that's just another fun little tip there. Yes, Rebecca, I will share with you, maybe hit me up in Messenger so that I remember to share a sample request form, and I'll just post that in Flockstars when I get your reminder. Okay. So number 16, share your VIP link with each thank you within the party. Okay, guys, how does this relate to bookings? Well, it relates to bookings because you're getting them right back into your VIP group where they're going to connect with you and fall in love with you because you're being real, you're being authentic, you're building that like, no trust factor. Every single thank you that you send out, make sure you're including a personal message to invite them to your VIP group. If you're just posting and praying your VIP group, posting and praying with your VIP group link, a lot of times people are like, you know, well, is that for me? Even if you say this is for everyone, they might not know that they're a VIP yet. Even if it's thanking the person who was the most engaging in your party, think of ways to thank others who are part of that party. So maybe you just loved so-and-so's comment. Maybe they were the life of the party. Maybe they were just really interactive. Every person who reacts in some way to the party, try to thank them before the party is over and include a personal invite to your VIP group where they can build that like, no trust factor, because then they're so much more likely to book the party. And then you've got all those other things going on in your VIP group, the booking games, a girls' night in, that kind of stuff. And again, you already know that you're going to start showing up in Messenger. All right, so number 16, 17, I don't even know where we are. Games. Take your games and interactive posts a little bit further. When you share a nail fee and you're saying, would you rather this, or do you like this or that, or, you know, whatever the case might be, right? We're all posting this or that. We're like, yay or nay. I do yay or nay in my VIP group all the time. It's pretty simple. So then you're going to reach out and you're just going to say, hey, Erica, I saw that you loved blah, blah, blah. I have these dates available and that polish set is waiting for you. You know, which date works better for you? Whatever the case might be, it's always a great reason to book. Just take that a little step further. It's like you've got their mini wish list already, right? It's just, you know, one item on their wish list already because they just said yay. So take that a step further, move that into Messenger and create that booking. Fill that green spot on your calendar. Okay. Number 17, number 18. I should have never numbered these. During party games like Duck, Duck, Goose, guess how many, you know, those little graphics that we get in the graphics groups and stuff. That's like how many nail polish sets are in there. You can use that and then ask that person to send you a message to claim their prize. Sherry, that's one more way that you're going to avoid showing up in that spam box. And if their prize is a full set of nails when they date their party, which date works better for you? Blank or blank? Do you see how that works? It's so incredibly simple. Like, I feel like we're all overthinking it so much, or we take that approach of, will you book a party for me? Or we're just sitting there posting, praying. And when we're doing things that just simply don't work, then we suddenly think it's complicated. But when we learn these really simple steps that do work, all of a sudden it's like light bulb moments everywhere, because now we know how to massively fill our calendar with bookings. And this is the lifeblood, guys. This is where it all comes together. All right, number 19. If you're offering party swag, I offer party swag in my parties. The party swag is a twosie, right? It's a fun way of offering a sample in your parties, but I just call it party swag because don't we all want party swag? And then they have to claim it through Messenger, right? And so when you're sending party swag, you can just upgrade, offer a prize upgrade. I've got, you know, I'm so excited that you got these twosies, you know, when they're claiming it to you in Messenger. And I have the sweetest deal for you. I've got an upgrade to a full set opportunity with this date or this date for your personal nail bar. Which date works better for you? Again, bingo. It's so simple. We just have to show up in Messenger. We have to be personal. We have to be brave enough to ask. Number 19. Number 20, I'm sorry. Follow up. Guys, a fortune is in the follow-up. That's not just some cliche saying. It's 100% the truth. So I'm going to tell you a really simple way to do follow-up. This is what I've done. And it's a system that works for me, and I hope it's a system that works for you too, right? It's 2, 2, 2, 2. So this is how we follow up. Within 2 hours of meeting the person, it's time to follow up. So whether they've requested a sample in your party, maybe they engaged for the first time, maybe you met them at a vendor event and threw a sample on them, maybe you met them at the grocery store, whatever the case might be, within 2 hours of meeting that person, I want you to follow up in text message or messenger, whichever is applicable, right? So if you met them through social media, Messenger is pretty applicable. If you met them in person, follow up with a text. Okay, the next 2 is 2 days. So 2 days after you have met them. So if you put a sample on someone, the follow-up is easy. Hey, Megan, it's Hannah. I met you at HEB. I'm just so curious. How's that nail polish holding on to your finger? Right? Simple follow-up. Hey, so-and-so, it was so great to meet you at so-and-so's party. I haven't seen you in my VIP group. I wanted to make sure you had the link. Right? It's super simple. So 2 hours, 2 days, the next follow-up is in 2 weeks. So if the person purchased from you, or if they tried a sample, or if they're engaging in the party, it's all the same. A prospective stylist, it's all the exact same follow-up system, right? So 2 weeks after you've met that person, 2 weeks after their purchase, 2 weeks after that sample request, whatever, right? So 2 weeks, and then move them into the every 2-month category. So this is one of the key things. If you've been here for any amount of time, you can probably remember back to your first 10 customers. If not, the VO has a great list of who those ladies are. Have you followed up with them every 2 months? Because when you do, those ladies are consistently purchasing in your business. If you don't, they're going to go to the stylist who is following up, to the stylist who is valuing them. It's about it's about the feelings that we create, right? And so that person is going to feel valued by someone. Let that be you. Be the stylist who stands out different than all the rest, and the best way that you can stand out differently than anybody else is to follow up. Think about it. I know you've all attended a home party before, right? How many times did that consultant follow up with you? Did they send you a handwritten thank you card? Did they call you to check in to see if you were using or liked your product? Did they follow up ever moving forward? Those are things to think about, because that's how you're going to create longevity, and that's how you can have a sustainable business with a very small clientele. You will never, ever run out of customers if you're using efficient and effective follow-up. Do you use an app or a spreadsheet to help keep follow-up with dates? Erica, I wish I would. Well, I'm not going to turn my camera around. I am a paper person. I like to keep follow-up on paper, and I've got binders, and I just move people back in the binder. I also put those dates on my calendar of when I am following up with who. So I don't have a spreadsheet. I don't have anything fancy. It's just the dates of when I'm following up with who, and it's things I'm going to have on me all the time, and it's my backup. So I've got it on my phone, in my phone calendar. I can see when I need to follow up with which person. I've got alarms set for some of those, and then additionally in my paper binder where I'm just moving those people through. The other great part about this, about having the paper systems, is allowing people to be added to my list too, that prospecting list. If you've been a part of our Flockstar Enrolling Bootcamp, then you know exactly what list I'm talking about. That's an essential and crucial part of moving your business forward. It's keeping those names in front of you, and that's what I love so much about having that paper binder. I can see those people in front of me all the time. When it's only in my digital calendar, it's really hard to see all of those names, right? You're only seeing who's on that week or that month. Okay, so let's move on. Number 21. Remember always that we sell 3 things. We sell nail polish, yes, but we also are selling bookings and opportunity. And so when you go into that party, make sure it's all about what you focus on grows. So focus on those bookings. Focus on the opportunity and default to the products. Your hostess is going to have a great party no matter what you're doing, because the polish literally sells itself when we're presenting it. But in your mind, you've got to shift that focus to what's going to grow your business, because we're all here for that, right? We're doing the parties for growth. What's going to grow your business is bookings and new stylists joining your team. So shift that focus and know that having $1,000 party doesn't mean there's any type of success if you didn't get at least 4 bookings and a new stylist out of that. So can you kind of convert that in your head a little bit to make that shift of putting that focus on the future business? And the hostess's party is going to produce rewards for her no matter what. All right. I might have doubled up on something. Oh, here we go. Number 22. This is the last one in this particular section before we switch to VIP group, because these were all party topics. So number 22, be duplicable. And I know this seems like a no-brainer, but sometimes we can get really caught up in creating all these new parties and things like that. We want it to be so duplicable, like it's the same party template that you do over and over and over and over and over again, that she's becoming familiar with you. She's learning to like, know, and trust you because she knows what to expect. You're not pulling any swift moves or anything like that. And then also, not only is this increasing your bookings, but your calendar can also grow by a launch party. Have you thought about that? When you are showing duplication, people want to join your business because you're showing a system. And a booking on your calendar is also a launch party. If you've got 10 dates open, wouldn't it be great if at least 3 of those were launch parties each month, so that you knew that it was a new stylist in your team who's able to have a successful launch, and because you're able to book that into those green dates on your calendar? Food for thought. Okay. Moving on, how to get bookings in your VIP group. Some of those things that we talked about up above, or earlier up above on my screen, but earlier in this conversation, were about your parties, and they are applicable into your VIP space as well. But here's a few other things. Post your available dates a couple times a month, and make sure that they know it's first come, first serve. Now guys, if you've got dates available this week, don't share the end of the month, because everybody's going to book the end of the month. Share what you've got available, and don't dump them all either, because you have to, it's like you have to show the demand. It's kind of where I'm going for, right? So you can say, I've got this date and this time, this date and this time, 1 spot available. I'm sorry, I'm getting hiccups. Oh, I hiccup swallowing. I might have been a silly face. Okay. So 1 spot available. So create that sense of urgency so they can go ahead and make that decision to secure that date. So, I've got Friday the 13th, 1 spot, Saturday the 14th, 2 spots, first come, first serve, FCFS, whatever. When a Facebook party lasts a week, what date do you offer? Sherry, that is entirely up to you. I do a combination of parties. So I do the pop-in party, which is the 20-minute party offered by Amanda Todd, followed by a battle plan, which is 7-day party. And so I schedule it on the night of the 20-minute pop-in party. So that's the super fast. So day 2 is my party night. So if I'm going to schedule you for Friday, then I'm going to actually open that group and get started on Thursday, but Friday is the party day. So that's kind of how that works for me. I know other people do it differently, so that's entirely up to you. But the day that's going to take my time and showing up live, that's the day that I make as the official party date. Okay. Number 2 for VIP group bookings. Simple. Girls' night in your VIP space. Do it at least 2 times per month. Weigh your points or tickets heavy on bookings, just like you would in your party, because it works. But guess what? You've got to show up in Messenger. So while that girls' night in is running, make sure you're showing up in Messenger with the most active people there, the people who share the fun gifts, the people who bring the life and fun and joy to that girls' night in. Follow up with them and offer that date, and always assume the close. All right. Number 3, booking games at least once per month, held individually within your VIP space. So this is outside of your girls' night in. How about you playing the dice game? Again, you can find that at that.life.shop, I believe, with Amanda Todd. The dice game is a great way to do it. And of course, you can do the pick your number, whatever the case might be, but make sure you've got bookings in front of people. And again, don't post and pray. Be sure you're showing up in Messenger. I feel like there is like a common theme going on through tonight. Okay, number 4. This is the common theme. Reach out personally. So, hey, Jasmine, gosh, I know that you love Color Street, and every single person who you are inviting into my VIP space is joining that group. They're so excited about the product. Let's get your party link set up so that you can receive additional benefits for your referrals. I've got Thursday open. Which Thursday works better for you? You know, it's something that simple. I'm just making the stuff up off of the cuff here, guys, but it's that simple when it comes to personally reaching out. We have to be brave. We have to show up in Messenger. We have to show up in text message or whatever way personal communication is most desired there. Okay. Get creative and have fun, guys. This is so important. And don't give up until you've reached your party goal for that month. You should always keep the calendar full. Don't move on to next month until this month is full. So don't even be offering November dates if you've still got October dates that are open. Yes, there's like less than a week left in this month, but that doesn't mean the parties are over. We still have plenty of time to party. We could have a party every night if that's what your availability is. So just make sure you're not turning your calendar too soon, because oftentimes we can try to be accommodating and book 6-8 weeks out in advance. And if all of your dates aren't full in between there, you're really not being accommodating, because you're more likely to have that party cancel because you weren't able to take action while the excitement was there. So just kind of keep that in mind and try to book as close as you possibly can. Eventually, when you're following some of these booking techniques, your calendar is going to be really full and you're going to say, gosh, I'm booking 4 weeks out. This is a time where you need to stop booking 4 weeks out and start enrolling some of your hostesses, because your calendar is full. You've got to enroll those hostesses, turn those into launch parties, and let her take on those bookings. That's how this whole thing works. That's how it comes together. So if you're booking 4 and 6 weeks out, girlfriend, I know it feels like you're doing everything right. Go ahead and rewind. Find those hostesses so that you can continue, or find those stylists within there so that you can continue booking really close. Okay, lower your cancellation rate. And not all of these things are going to be working for you, okay? There's going to be something that I've said that you're like, oh, I'm not sure I'm comfortable doing that. That's okay, don't. It's a culmination of things. Pick 1 or 2 things here that do work for you, that are comfortable for you. And maybe try something that's not comfortable, because one of the things that's really important to remember in this business and in all areas of life is that when you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So try to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. When you're learning something new, focus on doing at least one thing that, yeah, I'm not really sure, but she said it works, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to be like that receptionist at the dentist, okay? And then report back your results, because that's what's really exciting, is when you have the ability to pay it forward and share what's happening from it. You're not going to feel confident about it right now, but guess when that confidence comes? Confidence comes by taking action. So just rip that Band-Aid off and give something new a try. Okay, so this is my call to action for you guys. Get in inboxes. Get in inboxes today. If you're in Pacific time, maybe don't get in your inbox if you're Central or Eastern, but get in those inboxes. Write down right now who you're going to reach out to tomorrow. Who are you reaching out to this week? How many people can you reach out to? What are your green dates? How many boxes do you have to fill? Because we're going to get those babies full, okay? Spend some time with your calendar. Mark those days in green. Once you've got those days written down, send me a PM so I can see what your party dates look like, and let's get those dates filled together. I'm here to be your accountability partner. I'm here to work through some of those struggles with you. So if something feels uncomfortable, let me know, and we'll help come up with the verbiage that does feel comfortable for you. But again, keep in mind, when you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So allow yourself to feel that and know that you're moving forward. I love this couple little tips here. This was by Nikki Roush. She is a sales maven professional, and she shares some of the best ways to contact people to get bookings. These are the most effective ways. So this was with thousands of hostesses polled to what's their favorite way to be contacted about a booking. Okay, number 1. Oh, I'm going to do these backwards. So number 4 is email. Okay. I can kind of relate because I might not check my email all the time. So number 4, email. Remember, we do have a great email service through the virtual office. It does personalize the email. So keep it short, keep it sweet, and you can send out that email. Number 3 is phone call. I have a lot of success with phone call, and I think it's because people are just more likely to say yes when you're right there, right? Like if the dentist receptionist is calling and leaving you voicemails about your appointment, you're less likely to give her a call back and schedule. But when she's got you on the phone already, or she's face to face with you already, you're more likely to go ahead and secure that date. Same thing is true with a party. Okay, number 2, Facebook Messenger. So the second most likely way to secure the booking favored by the hostess is Facebook Messenger. So show up in Messenger. And guess what the number 1 way is to secure a booking? Anybody want to guess? I'll give you just a second to guess. Okay, second's over, just kidding. The number 1 way to secure a booking is text message. Are you surprised? I don't know, but you know that the 3 most effective ways all included person-to-person communication, and none of those ways, none of them were post and pray. So that just tells you that people are very, very, very unlikely to book a party based off of a Facebook post. So if you're feeling frustrated that maybe you don't have the bookings that you want, or maybe you're saying, gosh, people in my area don't hold parties, I promise you it's entirely untrue. Stop lying to yourself and start showing up. And I'm saying that with a smile on my face because, you know, we all have to hear that at some time. And I just hope that being able to receive that with love is a way that will help your business to move forward, because I can't tell you how incredibly thankful I am that somebody was brave enough to share that advice with me, that I could look within and secure those dates instead of looking outward and thinking that it was my area or that it was my product or that it was something like that. Somebody redirected that towards me. They were brave enough to do that. And it completely not only changed my business, but in turn, as a result, entirely changed our lives. Pretty amazing, right? Oh my gosh, we have a whole bunch of new faces joining. So glad you're here. We're wrapping things up. Okay. So, who else is going to book the parties besides these people on Facebook? You know, you have to have friends on Facebook. I know we talked about this earlier. You have to have them, okay? If you've got just 300 Facebook friends, then you need to go watch Facebook 101 in Flockstars. Type that in the search bar and really focus on growing that friends list. The goal is going to be 1,500 to 4,000 friends, and there are a million reasons why. You'll learn all about that in that video, and it will change the results of your business, of your booking efforts. Every effort is going to reap more results. So check out Facebook 101, type that in the search bar in Flockstars. It will change things for you. Then also think of your hosts, customers, prize winners, etc. Those people are all going to book a party. And also think of your Franks list. So go ahead and get your Franks list out and work that up. That's your friends, relatives, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, contacts through your kids, and then contacts through your spouse or social media. That is Frank's. And then mix it up. Think about the acquaintances of your family, the neighbors of your friends, you know, etc. Think about those things. Mix up Frank's. It's going to help you create a deeper list of people to reach out to and offer that booking. I'm getting hiccups again. Don't give up on yourself. Message more people, play more games, get busy in your VIP group, and don't forget to offer. So, think we've just about wrapped it up. I just added these extra notes today because I knew they were things I didn't want to forget, but just know you have to ask. This is just a little common courtesy. Before you ask, be interested in them before you can get them interested in the booking. You have to know that they're satisfied with their product, they're satisfied with the service before you can move forward with that booking. And if you're not relating it to Color Street, you can just relate it into life. So gosh, Julie, I love the dress that you're wearing. I love your confidence and your style. I bet your friends love sharing your style too. You know, something like that. You're going to be a great hostess, you know, whatever your words might be, Compliment, justify, ask. It's another thing that we talk about and learn in our enrolling boot camp. Sarah, gosh, I just really love following you. You always bring so much fun and entertainment to my news feed. I'm all up in here in my own space. In my news feed, you know, I find our most successful party hostesses are just are fun like you. You know, whatever. Try to build her confidence, share that compliment, and then go in and ask or offer for that booking. Make sure that your customer is taking care of you before you ask for the booking. We already covered that. Fun, fast, and easy. Use words and phrases that take things off of their plate, not making it seem like it's adding to their plate. And guess what? You're also going to get no. Be brave to ask, what could I have said differently for you to have been excited and booked that party? Be brave and ask that question. I can't tell you how many times, one, I'll ask that question. It has absolutely nothing to do with me, their response. But then other times people are going, you know, a lot of times they'll just say, oh, it just wasn't a good time, blah, blah, whatever. But other times I'll ask that question. People are like, you know what? There's no reason I shouldn't be hosting a party right now. Let's do it. So be brave. Again, stay in that batter's box for one more pitch because it might be the one that scores that booking. And I want you to know right now that the difference between where you are right now and the highest paid leader in the company is just the number of no's that they've gotten. You've gotten fewer no's than what they've had. So when you're getting no, know that it's completely normal. We all get no's. And the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is just a whole lot more no's. So get busy in Messenger. No more posting and praying. Show up, make those communications, and pick one tip from this whole conversation tonight and run with it. Find that thing that makes you comfortable. Don't forget to show us what your calendar looks like with those green dates marked and make that list of who you're going to reach out to personally in Messenger or text tomorrow. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for hanging in with me. We covered so many tips in 1 hour. Wow, I hope that this leads you to super full bookings for fall because what we know is everything that we do in these fall months is doubled and tripled each month thereafter. It's exciting. Bye, guys.